Legos have been a favorite building toy in American homes since the 1960s, and now they're being used to build brain power and combat summer learning loss.
So how can playing with these toys increase learning? Southern Education Desk reporter Sue Lincoln takes us to the Lego Engineering Camp at the University of Louisiana at Monroe to find out.
Looks like fun, doesn't it? But this is not just random play. It's a class on engineering. These kids are learning about gears and pulleys, axles and motors at UL Monroe's Lego Engineering Camp. Morning sessions of each week-long camp are for 5 to 7-year-olds, and afternoons are for kids aged 8 to 12. Instructor James Yates admits the younger campers can be a handful, but he's glad to be the one helping them grow their brain power.
Little children, I think, in today's society miss out on learning how to do things and learning why to do things. It's not just playing with Legos, it's learning how machines work and using Legos to do it.
Yates is not an engineer. He's a vocational education instructor and a pastor. He makes it a point during every class to encourage his campers to read a lot. He tells them it builds their power to create because it builds their ability to imagine.
The more you can do that, and the more that you can imagine pictures in your mind, the more that you'll be able to build things and see what you're trying to build.
In fact, he says reading is the most important skill for every child to learn.
We've all heard the statement, reading is fundamental. And we tend to try to say that some kids just can't read and they'll learn in a different way. But if they don't learn those basic reading skills of being able to imagine things in their mind as they read and comprehend what they're reading, it leads to problems in other areas.
Yates is touching on one of the main theories of education. It's something Lego engineering camps are all about putting into action. Known as constructivist theory, it holds that individuals learn by making mental models to understand the world around them, and that learning is most effective when people also make real-world objects from those mental models.
Press either button. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Research on the educational effectiveness of constructivist theory has shown children advance more quickly in reading, writing, math, and social behavior measurements, regardless of their socioeconomic status. In comparison, the achievement gap, based on poverty, tends to widen in authoritarian classrooms, where all activity is teacher-directed. Yates says he notices differences, but based on the capabilities of the two age groups.
When we start working with young children, especially with these Legos, if they don't have reading comprehension skills built, they can't imagine what they're building, and they have problems with their spatial orientation and their motor skills, being able to put blocks together. The kids who are more advanced have no problem, and the more advanced they are with their reading skills, the easier these types of hands-on manipulating skills come to them.
The older kids also get the more complicated projects to assemble, such as these vehicles.
What do y'all call this?
The tank tractor / snow pusher.
Okay. What did you change? Oh, you got blades on the side, I see. That's awesome. You got a spare transmission strapped to the top.
Yates says the BattleBots camp, culminating with a demolition derby, is the wildest and most advanced course. But really, not much can compare to the look on a 5-year-old's face when what he built with his own hands actually works.
I enjoy working with children, and I enjoy mechanics, and I've always worked with my hands, and being able to pass that on is just a privilege.
For the Southern Education Desk, I'm Sue Lincoln.